interested in this content, there you go. Just send them the link.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not asking for like to invite all your friends over, because half of them wouldn't give a damn about what we talk about. I'm not interested in those. Have people that actually
in our case. In our case, though, we actually don't give a fuck if your friend will ever watch our Rocket Launch videos. Still retweet it. Still get it out there.
Yeah, do the retweet.
People are asking about doing a donation drive so that Astronomy Live can get a lawyer. If that's something that Astronomy Live chooses to do, we will absolutely support him in that and do what we can to do that. That is actually, I'm gonna go for the Hitman. Yeah. I'm gonna go for Hitman. That's much more satisfying. Yeah.
I'm not advocating that, people. Don't.
Astronomy Live is going to arrive to court in a suit and tie and everything like that, and I'm just going to show up with a chainsaw and be like, "Hey, Red, no, don't do that." Because I'm here to do business, man.
Listen, sometimes you need to send a message. Right? We're literally talking about chainsaw and murder. Just another Monday.
I'm sorry, but that actually pisses me off. Some guy claiming my footage as their own. Fuck you, dude. Seriously. We worked our asses off for that footage, and you want to claim it as your own. I'm sorry, you are not as good as us. Fuck you, okay?
There was some people saying that earlier that he's got there's some things about him on Reddit. Are you aware of this?
So, yeah, Red initially sent me a message about this, and I thought it was like new information, and I looked it up, and it was actually old information. So I had posted a thread to Reddit explaining the situation on the Reddit for YouTube itself, and somebody took that and cross-posted it to a different subreddit and talked about Jason Katera being behind other channels being attacked. But really, there was no information indicating that. It was just if you followed the link, it took you back to my post. But there was nothing indicating what other channels might have been attacked by the same person.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was all about. I think it was just retweeting or reposting some of the information.
It's weird to me that I don't think if I had to guess, I wouldn't think that this would be this individual's first time doing this. Like, this seems like an MO. So you guys watching, I don't know who's going to see this video later on in the future, but if you have some downtime and you want to, I'm gonna pull a Trump. Russia, if you can get Jason Katera and his emails and find out what you can about him, let us know. There's some people who are a lot more savvy with the internet than I am, and we just want to, I just think that it would be good to reach out to Jason Katera in a way and find out what his issue is. That's for me, not Astronomy Live.
Someone needs to reach out and touch Jason Katera.
And the issue, big issue here. There's many big issues, but one of the big issues is there doesn't seem to be any recourse or consequence for people who continually file false copyright strikes. So he's filed now 3 strikes against me. Why isn't there a system in place where after the first one, let's let that one play out first before we decide on the others? Let's wait for the first one for the counterclaim process.
Well, what they should do is if they file a false one, they have to wait like 60, 90 days to file a new one, at least.
Right. If one is going through the process, it shouldn't be possible. It basically shouldn't be possible for some basically anonymous person to send in a counter or a copyright claim to YouTube and take down someone's entire channel. Strike after strike after strike. There should have to be some level of verification before that can happen. It's just absurd that one person could do this.
I just remember Astronomy Live that when I had that issue with the AdSense thing, there is a gentleman that does watch this show pretty regularly, and he works at YouTube. Now there's many different like departments and teams that comprise YouTube. But he was able to really help me when I needed it and sort of speed some things along. And I'll contact him. And H, if you're watching this, you can let me know that you saw this and maybe look into it. But I'll contact him and see if he can look into that too. Because it surprised me when I was on here bitching about the whole process. And he's the one that actually sent me a message and said, "Hey, watch the show," which is kind of weird when somebody that works at YouTube watches your show. That kind of makes me nervous. I'm like, oh, please don't pull the plug.
You better not cross the line.
Please don't pull the plug.
If they can find something about the submission of the DMCA that was fraudulent, they can dismiss it without even going further. They're allowed to do that, right? So if YouTube is normally if it's a DMCA that's above board, YouTube has no recourse. They have to follow the certain protocols. They have fiscal and legal liabilities, right? So I get that. But if they can determine that it was not properly filled out, or if it was a fraudulent, or the address, it doesn't exist like that, I'm pretty sure they can dismiss it by their own accord.
Yeah.
If that's not,
this is clear fraud. I mean,
sure
there's no other.
Because I've had that happen. I've actually had that happen.
There's no other reason that other than this is absolutely a case of fraud. This person is fraudulently filing these claims against Astronomy Live. The guy filmed it his fucking self. There's no misunderstanding here. It is no film that could be misinterpreted as being somebody else's. He filmed it. So this person filing a DMCA is absolutely committing fraud, and they should be able to see that. They should be able to say, fuck you, Katera, any other claims that you put in, you're done, and then release this channel. So people, make sure that you tweet this out. Make sure that you raise hell and burn shit down, march in the streets. Antifa, I hear they're good in cases like this at bringing attention.
Listen,
bring them in.
Nuke it from orbit. Just nuke it from orbit, and then after it's all just turned to ash, nuke the ashes.
Let it all burn.
Until this is settled, YouTube, we're going to be a Flat Earth channel. We're going to be pro Flat Earth.
Wait, we weren't already? Wait.
Perhaps you should ask your producer if he's willing to produce those shows.
Drop
I can do it. I can do it. I'm willing to do it. This is the price we pay. Listen,
go
YouTube.
flat.
You
want
an enemy? You want an enemy? We're not getting vaccines, and the Earth is fucking flat. Your move.
Hashtag globe. Hashtag globe strike. We're on strike from the globe.
Astronomy Live and Reds, is there anything else that you want to make sure that people know, or like that we haven't covered, or that you wanted to say?
Well, since you've given me the honor of being on your platform, I'll do a shameless plug for myself here.
Oh yes, please.
And say, when I get my posting privileges back from YouTube, and I can once again start not only uploading but live streaming, I do have some cool features planned for my channel. I've been working on some custom planetarium software that I'm writing in Python to be able to display where the telescope's currently pointed when I'm doing a live stream from the telescope, and also I want to implement feedback features, or not just feedback, interactivity features for the audience, where the audience will actually get to decide where the telescope points and be able to essentially control the telescope with some assistance from me. So they'll be able to submit coordinates or submit objects they want to see that will go to the telescope. I'll make sure that the camera's rotated properly to be able to view that object, and then we'll go from there. So basically the idea is to be able to have more interaction with the audience during my live streams, kind of like an interactive star party. So, you've probably heard about SLU and some of their services, and iTelescope. I highly recommend like itelescope.net for telescope rental. But the problem with that, or the limitation there, is that it's not intended for noobs. It's not intended for lay people. It's intended for getting high quality data, and most people wouldn't know what to do with that data. It's these raw image formats that nobody who's used to doing just regular photography would be familiar with. And so the idea here is I'm live streaming it. I'm showing the images as they're coming in from the telescope, and I'll also process all the pictures that are taken by the telescope as people pointed at various objects. So you'll have a version of the data that I've processed myself, but you'll also have the raw data from the telescope as well. So I'm planning to do that as sort of a Patreon thing. So if people want to sign up on my channel, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to doing that as sort of, like I said, kind of an interactive star party idea that I'm developing.
Awesome. And make sure, I know that a lot of people have already said in the chat that they are now subscribed to you, but if you haven't and you're joining us late, make sure that you do that. And another person that you should subscribe to, although I don't see why you wouldn't be if you follow this show, because he practically lives here. But Reds, go ahead and shameless plug yourself too.
Sure. I'm that ugly fuck from Florida. No plug on me. Just subscribe to Astronomy Live because he posts some amazing content and it needs a lot more traffic than it currently does. And on Wednesday, I will be meeting up with Astronomy Live at Cape Canaveral. And I think we're going to attempt to live stream off of the Nikon P1000. At least we'll try that. We'll see what happens. I did confirm that I now have unlimited mobile hotspots, so yay, winner. So tune in for that. But yes, please scream this from the heavens. Make sure you bash down YouTube's door and let them know that they fucked up, okay? So please retweet the tweet that I've been sending out to you guys in the live chat. Share it on Facebook. Share it everywhere. Go on a Tinder date just so that you can tell them about this so they can retweet it and tell all their friends. Shout it from the rooftops because I mean this, Astronomy Live puts so much effort into his videos. It's a damn shame that someone else can go and try, even have the opportunity to fuck that up. So guys, support Astronomy Live, retweet it, subscribe to his channel, and that's it.
Amen. And real quick, Brian G, here's to the call-in fund. Thank you very much, Brian. You can also, I put the link in the live chat. You can go to paypal.me/nonsec. If I think it was actually Brian that said this. If you don't want to support YouTube, which was actually not a bad idea. YouTube Surgeon General left 2 super chats without a message. YouTube Surgeon General, I'm surprised that you did that and not take the opportunity to say something. So if you'd like to fill those 2 in, tag me in the live chat and I'll read off what you want to say. And Lauren Takio says, Leonard French is a copyright attorney on YouTube. Yes, and Leonard French is amazing. I don't know if you've checked him out, Astronomy Live, but he is fantastic. If you've never seen his streams, he doesn't mess around. He knows his shit, and he's a really good content creator. So that is actually a really good idea. He might be somebody that you could reach out to and see if he can help.
Yeah, I'll check him out. Thanks.
Not a problem. And Steve, do you have any words of wisdom or anything that you would like to spell upon anyone?
Not specifically words of wisdom. I just want to tell people that when they have these things that happen to them, false DMCAs, people false flagging, don't let it get you down. I've been around 6 years. I've had people do this to me. I've had people do it to my friends, and I got to tell you, they've lost every time. If you persevere, if you do it right, and you will persevere. If you're in the right, these people that use these things as a weapon, they're just little bitches. I mean, they have nothing else in their life to do rather than try to take down people that are actually putting out actual product and actual information and having dialogues. And they're just not a part of it because they're not capable of having these types of discussions. So their recourse is to try to flag and false DCMA. But I got to tell you from personal experience many times over, because I've done goddamn a hell lot of counter notifications. I've won every time. This show's won every time. Our friend shows have won every time, and I think you will persevere if it's done just right. But there needs to be some recourse about this guy, and I'm hopefully that we'll find out that he's just a pissant, and he's going to be shut down and hopefully sued for loss of revenue from your product there.
Make everyone that you guys know like Leonard French, Simon Dan, Greater Sapien, all of these, even within the conspiracy cats, like all of these guys I know would be willing to, put it out there and let people know. But here's the thing.
Yeah, right.
This is aggravating, and it's frustrating, and it's fucked up, and it shouldn't be something that Astronomy Live, of all channels, is having to go through. However, when it's all said and done and it's cleared up and this time passes, Astronomy Live is going to be uploading content again. He's going to be uploading his rocket videos. He's going to be making his educational videos. He's going to be actually producing something. He's actually going to be something. And you, Jason Katera, will still be the pathetic little miserable shithead that you were this week, last week, the week before, next week. You probably will be your entire life. And that's just a decision that you've made for yourself. People who do this are